Today's story is both funny and eye-opening. China and the US have had their own traders, but it turns out that America is against America. Let's start with one key element, rare earth. Rare earths are critical industrial materials. They are essential for military hardware, electric vehicles, and nearly all modern technologies. That's why they've become one of the core issues in the US-China tariff wars. And here's the thing, China controls nearly 90% of the world's refined rare earth. When Trump administration launched a tariff war against China, China hit back by restricting rare earth exports. Trump soon realized China wasn't so easy to bully and had to slow things down. Meanwhile, China began cracking down on illegal rare earth exports, and what they found was wild. Smugglers were disguising rare earths in all kinds of bizarre ways, such as dissolved in shampoo bottles, pressed into stainless steel fringes, hidden as additives in paints, even stuffed inside plastic mannequins. The smuggling was so clever that it took serious effort for China to catch them, but eventually they got help from the US itself. An American company named Alpha Materials provided detailed reports to China. Thanks to that tip, China intercepted 300 tons of disguised rare earth worth over $80 million, enough to build components for 500 F-35 fighter jets. So why would a US company report this to China? Well, this is where capitalism shows its beauty. Companies like Alpha Materials are legal rare earth suppliers in the United States. Of course, there are a bunch of other rare earth suppliers in the United States, but when their clients started buying cheaper smuggled Chinese rare earth, their profits tanked. So what did they do? They blew the whistle on their own country's buyers. But wait, you might ask, why didn't the US rare earth suppliers just lower their prices to compete with the smugglers? Here's the reality. Since prices had already skyrocketed to 230% of their original level, American companies weren't thinking about lowering their prices. They were thinking about cashing in. Strange, right? But not really. You may do the same thing if you in their shoes. They didn't wrap up production, instead they hoarded the supply and raised prices daily. 5% today, 10% tomorrow, trying to profit while the shortage lasted. Here's the question, why should they invest in expansion when the price could crash tomorrow if Trump suddenly made a deal with China? No one wanted to take that risk. I bet you either, right? Now you see how dangerous policy instability can be, right? And in the United States, that instability is actually stable. When the Democrats come to power, they overturn Republican policies. When the Republicans return, they reverse the Democrats' decisions. And then there's Trump. Here's something else. He doesn't even need to wait for a new party. He often overturns his own policies. So why should the rare earth company risk their money to invest? So it wasn't China trying to fight the United States, it was the US companies reporting other US companies. Eventually, it was America against America. The American people and corporations wanted affordable Chinese goods and materials. But first, the US government slapped 125% tariffs. Then US companies reported anyone selling cheaper products to the US. In the end, how can everyday Americans buy affordable, high-quality products when everyone is working against themselves? Follow me for more behind-the-scenes stories like this.